This is bellwork for Monday, November 6th. On number 1, we have to find the missing side, and we have a right triangle with A is equal to 12, B is missing, and C is equal to 20. So we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And let's just plug in the numbers. So we have 12 squared plus B squared equals 20 squared. Okay, then we'll find out what 12 squared is. It's 144. $20 squared is 20 times 20, so it's 400. And then just solve for B. So we're going to subtract 144 from 400. And that gives us 256. Then we do square root on both sides. So we do square root of B squared and the square root of 256. So B is going to equal 16. On number 2, we have to factor x squared minus 64. This is what's called the difference of squares. As we do x times x, we get x squared, and we have 8 times 8, which is 64. So we can take that, and it's pretty easy to factor. It's just going to end up being x minus 8 times x plus 8. And the reason why is when you put those back together, you're going to get x squared minus 8x plus 8x and then minus 64. This part in the middle are just going to cancel each other. Okay, number 3, we're going to simplify 4x over 20, and it looks like the only thing we can do to that is look at the 4 over 20, which when we simplify, let's see what goes into both. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 25 times, and make sure you put the x back. So it's going to be x over 5. On number 4, we have to graph and find the x-intercepts of x squared plus 2x plus 15. So what I did was I went to desmos.com. Go ahead and do that real quick. And then type in y equals x and this thing right here, the up pointing arrow looking key, it's called a caret. And then a 2, then plus 2x plus 15. And you should get a graph that looks like this. When it's asking for the x-intercepts, it's talking about where does it cross the x-axis. This one does not cross the x-axis, so it has no x-intercepts. On number 5, we're going to solve the square root of x minus 9 is equal to 0. So we'll just solve this like any other equation. So we're going to start by copying it down. Then we're going to add 9 to both sides. You want to try to isolate the variable. We'll get square root of x is equal to 9. And then think about what undoes square root. What's the opposite of square root? And that's doing something to the second power. So we're going to take this side and raise it to the second power. And then since we did that on the left side, we have to do the same thing on the right side. So we're going to end up with x is equal to 81.